Hello everyone. In this class we will talk about the escape velocity or escape speed. So what is an escape speed or escape velocity? Each and every planet or astronomical object has its mass and the radius. Due to this, it has some gravitational pull towards each and every other object. With this gravitational pull, all these planets attract all other objects. So what if we want to calculate or want to know that with what velocity if an object is thrown it will never come back, or it will just be sufficient for the object to overcome the gravitational pull of that planet. For example, here we can take the case of the earth. So what will be the minimum velocity with which if an object is thrown, right, the object will never come back, or we can in other way we can say that the object will just overcome the gravitational pull of the earth, or in other way we can say that the object will be able to cross the gravitational field of the earth, right? So therefore it will never come back. So that velocity, that minimum velocity with which if an object is thrown so that it never come back to the surface of the earth, that minimum velocity, it is called as the escape velocity. So it will be the some minimum velocity with which if an object is thrown vertically upward, we have to throw the object vertically upward against the gravitational pull of the earth, of course, so it will be the minimum velocity, so minimum that the object will cross the gravitational field of the earth, right? So that means the object will cross this gravitational field of the earth with this minimum velocity it is projected with, and therefore it will never come back. So that minimum velocity, it is called as the escape velocity. So how do we derive the expression for the escape velocity? For deriving the formula or expression for the escape velocity for any planet, we make use of this basic concept. Suppose that at very lowermost point, this is the lowermost point, an object possesses the zero energy, or we can say it possesses the minimum potential energy, and at a certain height the object possesses some potential energy, right? So we know already that what will be the potential energy of an object at some certain height or from the center of the earth. Okay, when an object is released from this certain height, the object will be falling in vertically downward direction and its motion will be free fall, and it will be attaining the velocity. So therefore its potential energy goes on decreasing and kinetic energy it goes on increasing. So at highest point the total energy will be only due to its potential energy, and at lowermost point only the total energy of this object will be from the kinetic energy of the object. So we will make use of this concept in order to derive the expression for the escape velocity. So for doing that, we take that on the surface of earth, or we can say in case of the earth, at some certain point which is at a distance r from the center of the earth, we are not taking the radius to be separate and this height to be separate. We are taking that we have an object at this distance from the center of the earth. So this distance is r, right? So we have to throw this object from this point, for example point P, so that it never come back. So we have to take this object from a point, for example P, where it is lying, where it has some potential energy, to a point where it has the potential energy out of the gravitational field of the earth, which will be the potential energy of the object, gravitational potential energy of the object. So that means we have to take the object from a position r to a position, or let me draw it in this direction, so to a position where r becomes infinite. Only then the gravitational pull of the earth will be 0, right? So we have to calculate what amount of work we have to do in order to do that. We have to take an object from point P and make it to escape the gravitational pull of the earth. That means we have to take the object from point P to a point where there is no gravitational pull of the earth, which is for r is equal to 0, right? So let us proceed with these considerations. So at distance r from the center of the earth, object will of mass m, it will have the gravitational pull of the earth, which is given by F is equal to capital G m small m upon r square. So this is the gravitational force which this object will experience at position P. Small m is the mass of this object, capital M is the mass of the earth, and r is the radius of the earth. G is a constant, gravitational constant, right? So during this journey of the object, suppose that for small time dr, right, the force remains constant, so that we can calculate the amount of work for this small displacement, right? So therefore for small elementary displacement dr, the small amount of work done, it will be given by this is equal to G m m upon r square dr. So this is the force multiplied by the displacement. And here we are doing this work because this is the gravitational pull of the earth towards this object at point P, and this force will be in vertically downward direction. That means we have to give almost this much amount of the force in vertically upward direction. So therefore that direction will be opposite to the gravitational force. So we put a minus sign here. Okay. So from there, now we can calculate the total amount of work done if we have to take the object from r position r to r is equal to infinity. So therefore the total amount of work done, it will be given by integration dw from r up to r is equal to infinity. So we already have calculated all these in reverse integration method because the limits are just now reversed. So I am just writing the expression here. So work done will come out to be dw, it is nothing but gmm upon r square into dr, as r goes from value r up to r is equal to infinity with a minus sign, of course. So on calculating this, these terms are something constant, so they come out of the sign of integration. Inside we are left with only 1 upon r square dr, where r goes from a value r to up to r is equal to infinity. Okay. So therefore the total amount of work done, it will be equal to minus gmm integration of 1 upon r square, it will be equal to 1 upon r, and the limits goes from r up to r is equal to infinity. When we substitute these values, we get the value of amount of work done to be, for r is equal to infinity, this is what we substitute in first hand, it will be 0. With this the value will be 0, and with we will get the value only with lower limit, which is r. So therefore we get the value to be minus gmm. Upper limit will be 0 minus with lower limit it will be 1 upon r. So this is the expression for the total work we do whenever we throw an object so that it never come back, right? So it will be equal to with both minus sign they will just become plus. So therefore the total amount of work done, it will be given by Gmm upon R. If you recall, then this is nothing but the gravitational potential energy, right? Here it is coming out to be positive because we are doing the work against the gravitational force, and therefore we have to do spend some amount of energy. Okay, so whatever the amount of work is done, it becomes the potential energy of the object at that position R. So this is the amount of the potential energy which object holds at height R. So let me draw the diagram once again. It is the position P at which the object of mass m was lying. Its distance from the center of the earth was R, right? So this is the potential energy at point P. So if we throw this object from this position by giving it some initial velocity, it will have some kinetic energy. It will attain some kinetic energy, and its kinetic energy at point P, where we will give it some velocity v, it will be equal to the potential energy of the object at infinity, this. So therefore kinetic, if you can write it here, if we throw or we give, we give or we throw the object with velocity v, right, then its kinetic energy, it will be half into mv square. Or to differentiate, let me represent it by with subscript a. It will be the escape velocity. We are giving it some minimum velocity so that it has the kinetic energy this much at point P. So this kinetic energy at point P, it will be the potential energy of the object at infinity. This is the potential energy of the object at infinity, or it is the gravitational potential difference at some position P and infinity. You can call it to be like that. Okay. So kinetic energy at the lowermost point, it will be the potential energy of the object at highermost point. So at here it is the potential energy at highermost point, which is infinity here. Okay. So therefore from the conservation of energy, you can write from the conservation of energy, which simply says that the total energy remains constant. So total energy of an object at a certain height, total potential energy of an object at a certain height, it will be the total kinetic energy at the lowermost point. So therefore half mv e square, this will be equal to total potential energy, which is nothing but Gm small m upon R. So here m cancels out on both sides, and we can find the value of escape velocity to be, here it is v square, right? M cancels out, so 2 goes to the other side, it becomes 2 Gm upon R. And taking the square on the left hand side to the other side, we get square root on the right hand side, just like this. So this will be the escape velocity from a certain height R. So with this velocity, if an object is thrown, this will be the minimum velocity. We need not to throw the object with a velocity higher than this. So this will be the minimum velocity with which if an object is thrown from point P at a distance R, it will never come back to the surface of the earth. It will be the sufficient minimum velocity so that it can overcome the gravitational pull of the earth. And if we are throwing the object from the surface of earth, then this distance is nothing but the R, right? So therefore the escape velocity from the surface of earth, it will be the 2gm upon R under root. Okay. So in order to make this expression more easy to remember or simple, what we do, we just multiply on the right hand side the terms under the root as this. So we multiplied it by r and also divide it by r under the root. So therefore, the escape velocity, it will be equal to 2gm into r divided by r square. In the denominator, we will have r square. Here, it will be r into r square. So therefore, it will be gm upon r square. So therefore, escape velocity, okay, so there is a root here. So escape velocity is equal to, now this term, if you remember, this term is nothing but the acceleration due to gravity of the earth. So it becomes 2g into r. So this will be the expression for the escape velocity of any planet. So it will depend upon its acceleration due to gravity, which actually depend upon the mass and the radius of that planet. If we substitute the parameters, for example, acceleration due to gravity, or here for the earth, for example, now we will make use of this formula. So if we substitute the value of acceleration due to gravity g for the earth, which is 9.8 meter per second square, and the radius of the earth, which is 6.4 into 10 to the power 6 meter, and make calculation here. So therefore the escape velocity comes out to be 11, almost 11 kilometer per second. That means if we are able to throw an object with a velocity so that it can travel 11 kilometers every second, right, then the object will escape the gravitational pull of the earth, and therefore this will be the escape velocity for the earth. Similarly, you can calculate the escape velocity for the other planets or astronomical objects, just like moon, for example. We already know the value of g for the moon. It is 1 by 6 times the value of acceleration due to gravity on the earth. So which is 1 by 6 of 9.8. So which will be 1.6 approximately, right, meter per second square. So with this, if you calculate the escape velocity on the surface of the moon, it will come out to be 2.3 kilometer per second. 2.3 kilometer per second, right? So that means a planet which has more acceleration due to gravity will require a higher minimum velocity with which object is to be thrown, right? So escape velocity will be higher for a planet having the, or planet or astronomical object having higher value of acceleration due to gravity. And this is because a higher acceleration due to gravity is due to the higher gravitational force applied by that astronomical object. So these are some calculations on acceleration due to gravity of earth and the escape velocity of the earth and the moon. Now we can sum up few very important conclusions here. Very first thing is that escape velocity or escape speed, it depends upon mass and radius, or we can say size. You can also call it to be the size of the planet, right? More is the mass and more is the size of the planet, more will be the escape velocity of that planet. It is for this reason why the escape speed of the Jupiter will be higher than that on the surface of the earth. And it is for this reason that why the escape velocity is less for moon than the earth. For Jupiter, the escape velocity comes out to be nearly 60 km per second, which is very high. Okay, so just like that. Okay, another point regarding escape velocity, that it is independent of mass of the body which is to be thrown. So it is independent of mass of body. thrown. So it will not depend upon, you can just focus on this formula again. So it contains no term just like that. So therefore it is independent of the mass of the body. So heavier object or lighter object, all will require the same amount of the escape velocity. It does not depend upon the angle of projection. The escape velocity, it will be independent of angle of projection. To which direction the object is to be given the escape velocity, it will not affect the value of the escape velocity. Another thing is that a planet or astronomical object or a satellite, it will have, natural satellite of course, it will have a atmosphere. This can also be the reason why the atmosphere exists around a planet, right? If the root mean square velocity of gas molecules of the atmosphere is less than escape velocity, there will be atmosphere, because the root mean square velocity, you can call it to be just one kind of velocity of the gas molecules which will form the atmosphere. If the root mean square velocity of the molecules of the gas, it is less than the escape velocity, then the planet or that astronomical object will have some atmosphere, otherwise not. Otherwise what will happen, if the root mean square velocity of the gas molecules is higher, if higher than the escape velocity, then the molecules will escape the gravitational pull of the earth, and therefore there will be no atmosphere around that astronomical object. So these are the few things about the escape velocity and the various factors which play a role in the escape velocity. That's all. Thank you.